We're live. Hi guys. Long time.
We are live. It's been a minute.
It's been too long, quite honestly. Obviously we
It
took a
has
break over
been-
Christmas. We've
Yes.
been a little bit hectic. I was out of the country for a while. Effect was dealing with me being out of the country, and I'm joking. You had your own Christmas stuff and everything else and settling in.
I was also on my own journeys across the world, basically. So it's been an interesting past few months. I think it's been 2 months since we last streamed officially.
Yeah, nearly, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we're coming back, trying to, organize ourselves a bit more and try to get into this new year fresh and with new ideas, so to speak. During this stream, we're just gonna be talking a little bit about things like ideas and our end of year wrap of what we've done over the past year and what we're planning into the future. We're also going to be discussing any sort of ambitions and plans that we have, so we can reference it back to next year, hopefully. If we get there, and can look back on this and be like, hey, we've completed this, and hey, we've done this the same way we've done it for last year, and sit there and look back on our work.
Yeah, and sorry, just to answer Flux's daring interview question here. I didn't flee the country in a daring escape, although I might be doing that in 6 months, we'll see. How will I compensate the victims? I mean, I hate to say it, but I think you'll cope. I don't think you will miss me that much. I was still working on Colabria in the background. I've done so much stuff on the project in the background, especially on the website, on the classes for our Colabria system that we're building, the TTRPG system we're working on. We've done a hell of a lot. I've done a hell of a lot in the background while over there. So, I feel like that's my compensation to everyone, is the fact that I didn't stop working on the project. Maybe slightly to the chagrin of my other half, but I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, so we did a end of year wrap up last year. So I think we did it it was our first stream actually. It was our first stream back in January last year. We did a wrap up, which we can actually still see here. We were a little bit intense with this one. We're doing it a little bit simpler this time.
We were building it in the moment, so it's a bit more hectic. This one we've pre-prepared. We've learned from our mistakes. We're improving.
We'll see about that. We're still yet to be confirmed, but we're trying our best. So at the end of the year last year, we talked about everything we did during that year, which, to be fair, hell of a lot. We've done a hell of a lot this year as well, though. We also set some goals for what we wanted to do in the short term, so in 2025, what we wanted to do long term, as in to the end of the project. And we've highlighted some of them here as to what we've managed to achieve, what we haven't achieved, and what we've kind of made big strides towards, but haven't quite finished.
We haven't been as generous to ourselves, to be honest with you.
We probably should have put this in yellow. We'll put it.
We didn't finish it.
We haven't finished it, but we've made a lot of progress. Okay, it's nearly.
Yeah. It'll make us feel better. Cool.
Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. I just want to feel better about it.
Yeah, it's a different shade of yellow, but it's good.
Exactly. It's a more of a reddish orange yellow.
Yeah. Questionable. In that wrap-up, we've set out to complete the Scars Peaks, which we've done, and we've semi-made it playable. There were still a few things to refine, but it's basically playable at this point. At least certain zones are, for sure.
It is 100% fleshed out enough, at least in lore and resources, that people can run Snake in it. There are some areas that are more fleshed out than others, but honestly, some GMs like to work slightly more freely in that, so to be honest, it is pretty much playable.
Yes, we have finished the Colabria system for the most part, again, as we've just established. We have a few things to iron out, but we're basically done in that. And completed the Pantheon of Gods. I think I am the most proud of this one.
It's because you did it. I'm going to admit, I'm going to step back here because wasn't me.
Genuinely, I remember setting this goal at the end of that year and thinking you know what? We're finishing this, we're making sure at least the Pantheon's made, so that we have a mythology that is customizable and that people can look on and use for their own campaigns, even if ours isn't done. At least this way, the Pantheon is visible complete with like all the primordials, all the divines, and champions.
To be honest, you got on that so quick as well. Like you really you powered
honestly,
through
the first half of the year has basically just been devoted to the Pantheon. And aside from a few more champions, the world could use a few more. But the ones that we have,
but we've pretty much solidified the story. Now there might be a few we add in for extra flair, but in terms of the actual like core unit that it is, it's pretty much done. So
absolutely.
Also, Flex, how are you a part of Sky News and BBC News? I know both are lies, but I just want to point that out. My absence was not that earth-shattering, I assure you.
Will I be resigning and launching an investigation on the absence of St. Grave? Nobody wants to see her.
It's honestly fair. It's so true. And now Flex is in Fox News. Surely her Conrose must not be eaten by the legendary Dingug. Oh, I just gotten so political so quick, but that is very Fox News. Okay, long term. No
comment.
We've actually managed to complete one of our long-term goals that we said we probably wouldn't finish until the very end already. So we've already made every single race in the Colabria Project. So I can actually find that by going on here. We can have a look in playable races.
It's so
we have
to see.
so many. These are all of our playable races in the campaign. There are more so creatures and animals and things that aren't playable that we've developed as well. There is so much going on, but these are just the playable ones. And I've got to admit, I'm pretty proud of the fact we managed to get through these. Some of them are still information pending, but some of them are more fleshed out. Like, that one's still waiting to be filled in, but this one's pretty much filled in.
I just want to point out to those who are OCD, I will be fixing that dwarf card.
Thank you. Yeah, like I'm OCD, and yeah, that will be fixed. But yeah, so we've done a hell of a lot towards that. We've actually pretty much gotten there, so good for us. And at the end of last year, we had only. Can I play as my favorite race, the 100-meter dash? Funny. We've only back then we'd only done 4 regions out of what we thought was 11. It's not 11 anymore. I think there's 16 now. I'm not mistaken. And we'd only done 4. And we'll see soon. There's 17. We've actually done 16 out of 17 civilizations already in the regions. So, I mean, we've done a ridiculous amount. I think Effector's dying slightly. While I wait for his mic to start working again. But yeah, we've done so much work here. He'll be back in a minute. I think he's back. There we go. Yeah, we got him back. Wonderful.
I am back. Sorry, Discord has been a bit of a...
It's been a bit of a nightmare tonight. I don't know why.
I was going to say we have 19 regions total. 16 of them we've completed. It would be 17 that are traversable and 2 of
And then
the
2,
poles.
yes, we have the Aurora Borealis and... No, sorry, the Barren Borealis and the Aurora Desolation, which are like the North and South Pole that we still are yet to complete. But to be fair, we've done so many of them, it's unreal.
They also already have a lot of lore about them that we just have to implement on visually. So
Exactly. So we've already done a hell of a lot actually towards those as well. So I'm pretty proud of the fact that we were expecting this to take the whole project to do. We've nearly ironed the whole lot out. And in terms of completing the world story, that's pretty much going to be a constant work in progress. We're always going to be adding to it. We're always going to be, trying to expand on different things, adding new one-shots, new concepts, new ideas, just to keep it fresh, even after the world itself, the foundations of it are complete. So this is kind of a constant work in progress, but I think we've made some significant steps towards getting to a point where we can consider it a full story.
Yes.
And that's been really cool, to be fair.
Yeah. The closest thing I can imagine for us completing, so to speak, on quotation marks, the story is by giving it our canonical beginning and end for us, which can be anything for you guys.
Yeah, like eventually we want to run a full campaign once this is playable, at least. Once the Colabria system is up and running and playable and accessible, I will be writing a campaign, and I will be getting some people to hop in and join me for basically a playtest campaign. But obviously we'll be evolving and adapting it as we go, which in of itself will tell a story of the world. But everyone's going to have their own stories. That's the fun part. You guys can hop in, make your own story, have your own campaigns, have your own people that you meet and places you go, and So really that's always going to be happening, but we are going to do at least one campaign ourselves. Probably multiple though, to be honest. It's a big world. We'll probably end up having multiple campaigns in it. Each part adding to the world story. So that might never actually be complete, but that's kind of intentional. Kind of like how Tolkien made Lord of the Rings. It was intentionally incomplete because he wanted other people to write their own stories into it, which I think he did very well. I'm not comparing myself to that because my god, I could never, but it's a cool idea, and it's something I wish I could be cool enough to do.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we have other authors to look towards, like Tolkien, like Robert Howard, who's made Conan. We also have Lovecraft, who's made the Cthulhu mythos, and many others.
Yeah, we're just trying to avoid the abject racism of Lovecraft, but you know.
Well, no, but still, like
the concepts were cool.
The concept and the art behind the creative works are remaining to be impressive. Mm-hmm. And these are all authors that have made us, you know,
they've inspired us.
On the world. Yeah.
They've inspired us 100%. So now that we've talked about what we've done from last year and what we hope to achieve and where we're at now, let's have a look at what we've actually managed to do this year. And we've already typed it up because we're organised. Look at this, new year, new us, and we're organised for once. Don't trust it to remain this way, but we're trying our best for the start, okay?
You're trying so hard.
Trying so hard. And got so far, and in the end, I'm joking.
I will say quickly before we get into this, I will say it is something I want to acknowledge, is the fact that not only have we improved on our workflow, in the fact that we've managed to complete the regions very quickly by actually having some sort of rhythm behind it,
100%.
but also we've definitely improved on our way of, you know, even just going into VC an hour before stream and talking has helped tremendously in our completion process
and organization, and just we actually kind of get on the same page now.
Absolutely, and I think the communication between us has improved a lot over the years, and we've managed to complete a lot more in that way. The creative works that each of us do align a lot more now as well, and having assigned ourselves jobs in that way, where Saint is someone who is a lot more handy with statistics and making the sheets and everything, and that side of the world.
I'm dyslexic and autistic, I can't really help it, so.
Well, yes. And I myself enjoy writing stories.
Yeah, I like the writing too. It just takes me a lot longer, and I recognize that you are, you know, with me it takes such a long time to get that sorted, especially with, like I said, being dyslexic. It can be quite difficult to put things in the way that I want to put them. So having that, you there to bounce stuff off of, or you there to like type up things that I'm trying to think about, or like, you know, or to bring up your own ideas to the table has been like so helpful. And I think in dividing our workflow like that, it's actually helped us do a hell of a lot more in this last year.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's just something I want to acknowledge, because it is something that has changed since last year.
Oh, so much. I'm not trying to do it all myself anymore.
Yeah. And I'm also not just blindly walking through.
No. You've taken on more agency in it, which I appreciate, and I like to think I trust you more now.
Good.
I trusted you as a friend before anyway, but, you know, as a co-writer and really, like, project lead, you know. Mm-hmm. So,
which
anyway.
I appreciate a lot. And as we've seen, yeah. And we'll see now in the points that we've brought up for this year's completion list. We'll see. We've completed the merchant domain for one, which is related to the Scarus Peaks. Mm-hmm. So I think you've done more of the city maps, so you can talk about that.
So I went and I designed all of the city maps for those, some of which are up on the website. For example, here's the capital, Riggin. This is capital of the merchant domain. We have key points of interest, be it shops, be it places like lighthouses, be it like the College of Music that's here, libraries, rich people's houses, etc. Right? Everything is kind of in here, blacksmiths, stonemasons, everything you can possibly imagine. And we also added people. So we actually have all of these really cool character cards here, which you can go into more detail on. For example, the Harbour Master here. We have voice lines that we're still waiting for a few voice actors to hop in and help us with some of these, but we are working on that actively at the moment. And they have these fun little cards which you can look at as a brief like overview of their character if you're GMing and you want to like talk about them and you just want to have like be able to look at it at a glance. Maybe one day we'll have these published, but we'll see. Might be able to get like a stack of character cards for each region, like place. But that's a future thing. But yeah, so we've done a hell of a lot of work on all of these. Some of them are actually voiced. This one is actually effects voice. I don't know why that picture isn't loading, because it does exist, but that's fine. Again, this is one of those. This is voiced. I won't embarrass him too much, but it is pretty cool. You should go check it out. Speaking of things being voiced as well, we've had quite a lot of additions to it. We've had some like more art done, especially by my lovely other half, who's done some of it. We've had some more voices come and get sorted. Yeah, we've actually had so much stuff going on, and we've got more artists and voices lined up to go to help bring some of these other characters to life as well. So that's incredible. In terms of secret groups, social conflicts, shops, and organizations, they are all in our documents and they are waiting to go up on the website. We have so many documents right now. I am working on getting it on the website, but we have actually finished them in like on paper, which is pretty cool, which is part of what makes it playable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So honestly, kind of impressive that we got that far. Just with that, I wasn't expecting to get that far.
Yeah. And with the merchant domain being complete, it is officially, and has been for like a big chunk of the year, the first civilization that is both the most one of the most influential ones. I don't know why we started with this one, but we did. One of the most influential civilizations, but also one of the most complex ones that we have.
We couldn't control it, you know. People were like, we want to do a pirate nation, make it there. And we were like, fuck it, why not? Let's go. And then we turned out realizing just how substantial it was going to be.
Something I want to point out as well as a point of improvement that we have done over the year is with the help of Saint's other half as well. She's
great.
She's been lovely in helping us be grounded and given us the insight of the fact of the matter that the reason the merchant domain is so complex is that, for one, it's a pirate nation. It is inherently mixed as a nation. It's also outside of law, so for it to be unlawful, you need law to begin with, which we didn't have. It's also a trade federation, which we don't have anybody to trade with. It's also again mixed race culture, so we don't have any races. So we started with the most
awkward one, to be honest.
With the most awkward one, and we needed to like fill
but we
out.
We learn together.
And I will say it's helped us improve on thinking broadly on everything. So we at some point during the year we kind of sat back and were like, let's stop just sitting around the merchant domain.
Let's stop.
Let's make some more things, right? Because we've been hanging around the Scour's Peaks for like all of last year basically, and then half of the first year. So it's like, what, you know? So we ended up going through and organizing the rest of the regions, which has again improved our workflow and something to keep mind of if you are designing your own civilizations. A good tip is don't start with the most complex one on your roster.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't know it was going to be the most complex at the time, but this is kind of part of what world building does. You need to pivot sometimes. If you get to a point where you're like, hey, this has gotten a little bit more complex than I thought it was going to be, or the ideas are amazing and I want to keep going with them, but I can't yet until I've done something else. Don't be afraid to like pivot. Go and figure out what else you need to figure out first, then come back to it. That's okay. Yes. You're not failing anything. You're not, you're not spreading yourself too thin. You're actually doing what you need to do, because if you get too focused on that one task and hyper-focused on the fact that you don't think you can complete it because of XYZ reason, you're just going to stress yourself out. And that's what I was doing. And then we sat down and we went, hey, we've got to change direction. We need to like figure this out properly. We need to find the best starting point for continuing with this, because clearly right now we're hitting a block and that was just hurting our creativity. It was causing a lot of burnout. So yeah, don't do that to yourselves.
So, don't do that, indeed. And as Saint said, don't be afraid to pivot your focus. And because there's a big chance that you might feel disappointed in yourself if you're looking at, okay, I'm doing this domain, and then suddenly you're like, there's a chance to think that you're not good enough to do it.
Which is not true.
It's not the case.
Don't bow to the voices. They're lying.
those of you who have done this before and you know how difficult it is to make a civilization on just one small area, you'll know just how complex it is to apply it to a whole planet worth of civilizations. So what we've done going forward was focus on the most prominent race on the map, which was, for our case, humans.
Humans. I'll bring out that migration.
And yeah, because we already did elves, to give some credit. We did do elves, but they're quite an isolated world.
Yeah, the elves were like a lot less tied into everything than everything else was. Damn humans. Yeah. Humans are the most prominent race in our world. I know, tragic. It truly is. But here we are.
There is rhyme and reason behind it, fortunately enough, why that's the case. And during our development, again, one of the completed civilizations is the humans, and we've started with taking the Cerulean coast, and we're like, okay, we've said already this is where the humans will be.
Yes.
Again, and when we said like, okay, what do we want to do with the humans? And for some reason, we've decided to go colonial. Well, we said migrations have happened. We'll say that.
Griff, I just want to say sorry, Griff, that's actually kind of funny.
Oh yeah, so...
Also, hi Griff, nice to see you, Happy New Year and all. I know we're a little bit late on that one, but we've had some stuff going on, so sorry, this is our first stream back of the year. But it's fine, we're here now. Hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year, guys.
Absolutely. And yeah, Griff in the chat said, what do you get if you cross an angry sheep and an angry cow? Do you get two animals that are in a bad mood?
Terrible jokes. Griff with the dad jokes always there. But yeah, so we focused on humans. We saw where their migration routes would have been, how they would have expanded, how they became the most prominent race on the planet, etc., etc. So that led to us really figuring out how everyone else interacts with them, what happened to other races like the dwarves who were pushed back into their original kind of like homes because of the humans kind of taking over their land. It led to a hell of a lot, actually, and it helped us figure out like how the Comarians ended up down here, who were a mix of humans and others, right? And how their relationships were affected, how Tide's journey affects it, the Divine of Water, you know, like everything. To be honest, that was the start of a really good creative flow for all of us. Yes. And it really led to some amazing ideas from chat as well, which was amazing. So yeah, this is kind of where we pivoted to, and it was the best idea I think we've done in a long time. And it's led to us getting to a point where now we have created and completed 16 out of 17 civilization-based regions. So that is groups that, like, regions that actually have people living in them, right? A civilization set up in them, which includes their politics, so internal politics. It includes their geography and how it affected how the people live, in their industries that they're able to produce and how they're linked to the rest of the world through it, and how they have like their positive or negative relationships with other nations and other civilizations across the world, which is a hell of a lot of information to have been able to have done for 16 out of 17 civilizations where we'd only had 4 done before this point. So massive step up for us this year.
If there's something to learn out of it, is that, again, looking outward and looking at the relations is a good point to get yourself creatively going. Thinking about how things interact, even if you don't have any races made yet, just thinking about it from a political standpoint a little bit. How does the world interact with each other? Even if you don't have a nation type of world, if you have like a more fantastical, non-political world, you still need to talk about how does this zone interact with this zone? Why is this zone this way, you know? And that's what we did.
And how did the geography of that affect their relationship with others? You know, that's another good way of doing it.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be political. It can just be relational.
It could just be trade. Well. It could just be that they trade because one has one resource and another one has another resource. It could be that simple. You know, some of the stuff can be really, really easy. Some of our nations are kind of like that, whereas others there's more animosity there. Others there's more divine influence. Others that, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in different areas of the world. But that's what happens when you have 17 civilization-based regions.
Absolutely. I would argue in our world we have the Jackarak, both like subspecies in it, which is more of a neutral species. So that interacts throughout the world in various ways.
Oh, good. Ads are up. We got 30 seconds to kill.
Yeah.
I will come back to ideas for future stuff, probably next episode. But I will copy and paste that down somewhere so we can
I can do that.
chat about it. Thank you very much. This episode, we're just doing a recap, guys. We're not going to be adding anything new this episode. We're literally just going over what we've done and where we're going. But yeah, we will put that down somewhere. So next stream, which will be next Friday, we will be starting to go over new options and new things to be adding to the world. Okay. We're not going to forget about it, though. Effect, have you noted that down, please?
I have already.
Amazing. See, look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Right there. But yes, so we've done a hell of a lot in terms of that as well. All of this, by the way, a lot of this is on the website. Not all of it, but a hell of a lot of it is on the website. For anyone who hasn't seen, we've done some massive updates to that. There's a hell of a lot going on. We've updated how all of this works. You can check out a whole bunch of stuff. You can check out loads of different civilizations and races. Not all of them are complete yet, but you can be able to see that. The Camarian conglomerate, like we say, is pretty much completely completed. And it has a lot of information on it, which you can see kind of clicking through all of these links here. We can also go back to Scar's Peaks here, which has a lot of information in it as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So if you guys do want to check out the website, please don't forget to. We've done a lot on there as well. Been kind of chaotic, but we're getting there. Oh my god, look at that. Stream Elements put it up the exact moment we're talking about it. Isn't that crazy?
I put up the command, yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you put the command down. Wow, I didn't see it because it didn't show me in my multi-stream. But yeah, so as well as that, we've done, I think this was something you've really worked on a hell of a lot, Effect. We've established the mythologies of the world. So Effect, if you want to take it away on that one.
Yes. Again, I'm very proud of this one because it allows for the introduction of planes of existence. It allows for the introduction of the magic system. It allows for the introduction of the gods and gives reason to certain things. Why certain things happen and the sort of divine politics of the world. As we know, or if you don't know, when making a world, a big separation from the world you make is the mythology. You have the mythology, you have the politics, you have the civilizations, you have all these segments to look into when you make a world. And when you're establishing a mythology, you're trying to think about what do you want to do in that? Is it led by gods? Is it led by nature? Is it led by death or other like contradictory things, you know, that to life, so to speak. And in our world, we've made starts on the simple terminology of primordial, divine, and champion. And we have outlined those a lot more in our writings. They are elaborately labeled that way, but some of them thread the line between the power, how much they wield. The hierarchy is supposed to be primordial, divine, and champion, but we have some champions who are near to the power of divines. We have some primordials who are a bit underpowered, some are more powered. And we've also established the entire existence of the world. So we've established this place called the Greater Dream. The Greater Dream is this unknown. And that's something that's very important that I realized making this. Not everything needs to be explained when you are making your world. Mystery is what builds story. And that's something I cannot emphasize enough. The Greater Dream is that manifestation of mystery. And then in that Greater Dream, we have life stream, death stream, that in between space, as well as chaos stream. By making these separations, we have made it clear what is known, what is unknown, and then that builds up more mystery into like possible threats and possible configurations of how the planes work. So we've made it a point that dreams are important. Why are they important? Well, they are the very fabric of the world, because the very world in which we walk through is the dream of life. The primordial of life had dreamt. And we are in its mind, so to speak. We are in its dream. And every person on and within these planes also dreams. But that doesn't make them any less real. It's very philosophical.
Oh
So
god,
I
is
won't
it
get
philosophical?
I will not get into it too deeply, but there is realities within realities that create subdivisions of dreams and small pocket dimensions of dreams.
Which
and
all
every
feed
person-
into the greater dream and makes it what it is. Makes it the powerhouse that it is that allows the whole universe to exist within it.
Yes, and it's a bit of a battery that feeds itself, in a way.
Oh god, yeah.
That's kind of like the simplified version of the mythology, right? It is dreams, and that's what the magic system is founded upon. Which we'll get into a little bit later, a bit more on it, but to give a bit of a rundown, the way the magic and the way a wizard works in our world is it wields the arcane of this world by using the dream weave. The arcane weave that you might be familiar with in more mainstream fantasy, we call that the dream weave. It is literally changing the very dream of life. And the threads of life.
But through the greater dream. So they're people who've been able to peer through their own dreams into the greater dream, and through that have found ancient primordial power, or even pre-primordial power, that allows them to manifest things from the greater dream into Lifestream, and to thus change the fabric of Lifestream to suit the kind of things that they want to do. Where things get a little bit confusing. But that's how the arcane exists in our universe, right?
Yeah, and that's the main form of magic that is tied to everything. So you'll notice we have multiple classes and multiple magic types, but they're all founded in some form to the dream. And we'll obviously talk more on that as we more develop the world. Certain things are more relevant than others.
But there is a page on the website if you want to go read about it now.
There is.
It exists. I did it. I did.
Yeah. And there is also one more thing that I want to talk about, which is the in-between space. So we have a god that is a divine called Artemis. I think that character must have become one of the most significant characters during our writing journey.
100%.
Because through writing about them, Artemis is the brother of Artar and Adita, which are twin gods of dawn and dusk, and they both have ties to life and death. But Artemis is a bit of a middle ground, in between. And Artemis has been exiled, we'll say, to a realm which had no master, and he, by being basically dominated by his sister, he's been granted dominion, ironically, to his own realm.
But a realm where he can't be seen by anyone except those who have died and are lost.
Yes. So the in-between, which I am currently developing, I'll put my hands up, that is something still in development.
It is.
But the in-between is a realm that is very reminiscent of Limbo. It is a space that is very much bleeding Death's Dream into Life's Dream, which we haven't really gotten into Death's Dream all too much because it wasn't really necessary, but I'm excited to talk about it. The in-between is very much an exiled space. It is a space for exiles, it is a space for lost souls, but it is also a space for souls to traverse the planes. And I think I'll leave it on that, basically, because there is a lot of politics of divine relations that
are still under development.
Not just under development, but I could sit here and talk about it for a whole stream.
Yeah, this is like a whole stream worth of content, so we'll probably move on.
Yes.
But as you can see, we've done a hell of a lot of stuff on Pantheon's Dreams, the Planes of Existence. A lot of it is on the website. You can check it out. You can check out Artemis's page. It does explain kind of who he is and how he became. We do obviously, like I said, we do have the actual magic system explained with our terms and concepts of the Greater Dream and the Dreamscape. effect, manifestation, which is essentially magic in our world. The schools of dreaming, trades of power, and natural manifestations are different forms of magic are explained there, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
You have a whole thesis in there if you want to read it.
There is actually literally a whole thesis. Wait, let me find that. It's in the Tales of Calabria, where anyone can give any work that they've written in our world or about our world. We've had a few different entries. Some of them are short and to the point about characters in the world. Some of them are much longer. I know I've done a few, which are a little longer. And then Effect decided to really take the cake on the length by writing an entire thesis on how the magic system works from a Dreamweaver standpoint. So that is your basic School of Magic standpoint. They're the more controlled and logical ones. There is an entire thesis up on the website. You guys are more than welcome to check out. As you can see, it is a great many pages. So if you like academics, go for it. If you want to check out some of the other stories, there are plenty on here written by various different people. Again, some are really short and to the point. You know, they don't have to be long. If you have any ideas or stories or things that you've written in the world, please don't be afraid to send it to us. Some of them have songs, some of them are stories, some of them are characters, some are lullabies and kids' tales, right? We have so much stuff on here. You are welcome to add anything you want if you want to do something creative.
And those who obviously consent to it, we will also make videos in the future on telling these stories.
Yes.
Through various media, which we're working on. That we'll get to that point.
Which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, I mean, obviously one of the big things we've done, it's more boring, which we're not going to spend too much time on, is we've done a massive website overhaul and reorganization. We do actually have over 200 active pages now on the website of various things, which is insane. There'll probably be triple that by the time we're finished with the project, but yeah, that's kind of where we stand at the moment, including things on page consistency, design, SEOs, which are search engine optimization tools so that we can be found more easily, as well as just obviously adding new content that we've done. That is going to be an ongoing thing, probably permanently, but it is something that we are very much working on at the moment.
I will say, going into this project, I had never imagined that I'd be spending so much time staring at the same picture over and over again and making small edits to make it line up.
It's quite painful, actually. But we're learning, you know, this is we're learning
great.
as much as you guys are learning. It's a very, long process.
Just one more thing about the website overhaul, because I don't want to linger. It is a bit boring, but I personally have had time to study some coding into how Squarespace works. So I have learned how to do things like
not sponsored,
scrolling.
but we do use Squarespace. But yeah.
Yes. But it's because it uses a very specific coding indentation within it, which uses Python as well. And you can insert yourself code that can do certain things. And in our case, I've learned how to make a scroll wheel and how to make a slideshow format that hopefully we might include in the future.
But the relative design is going to stay the same. We just might add some cool little features in the future to make it a little bit more interactive and fun.
Yeah, you might see some more animations added in the future. Who knows? Some graphics, some fun things. But as far as that goes, that's just visual design.
And hey, look, you guys are all over here. Everyone who's contributed to this in the past is, in fact, on our contributors page. So don't forget to check that out as well. As well as these awesome little chibis, which you can see as our little icons at the top too, which my other half made, which are so cute. But yeah, she made this for us. But you can see some of the art that's already been done, some of the voices that have been done, who did them. If you want to check them out, you can check them out. We encourage you to. If you have any voice acting stuff that you want to get done for your own personal stuff or art that you want to get done, please do check out their links. Those of them that have them, they do actually do this to a much better extent than me and Effect could. Well, then again, me and Effect have done some voices, so you never know. But yes, we can't be all of the voices of the world. That would get real boring real quick. I already get fed up of listening to myself speak. So,
We've done a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we get to my fun part. The Calabrian system, the CS. This is a tabletop system that we've been designing for, I think, 2 years now.
Yes.
It's been filled with ups and downs. I was a little bit too optimistic in thinking that I would get it done this year. I will hold my hands up to that quite happily. Turns out making a TTRPG from scratch is a lot of work, but I've done a hell of a lot towards it. So that said, all of the primary and substats of the game have been figured out. A lot of them even have, all of the substats actually have tables that indicate how they level up. All of the baseline point system has been developed. This is all on the website. The actual system itself on how you roll, what you roll for, what determines success and failure. We have a sanity-based system as well that includes phobias and madnesses that we'll get to in a minute. We have combat rules, including how our armor, wards, and hit chance system works, deaths and reaching 0 HP, rounds in combat, seeing death, and outnumbered rules, which is all kind of crazy, but again, you can check this all out. This is all the actual functional TTRPG rules that we need. We then have skills and effects, including exhaustion, stealth, stamina, and mana, which we have in our system, as well as how dreaming affects the world, including how nightmares can impede on your ability to recover health, stamina, and mana overnight, and how dreams have a fundamental position in everyday life. We then even have a few optional rules that GMs can include, including armor and ward durability, specializations that are crafting specializations that people can take alongside their primary class information that level up separately. We have critical hit rules and character creation fears rules as well. Then, as I said, we are making a dark fantasy TTRPG, so it does include madnesses and phobias that are based around losing sanity rolls. So when this happens, you may be forced to take madnesses, whether short-term or long-term, each which have different rules attached to them. All of these have different effects you can click through on the website and have a look at. Most of them will affect you in both role-playing and PvP scenarios. The whole focus of this system has actually been to essentially make a system that is more balanced than, say, D&D and Call of Cthulhu. So if you've ever played either of those systems, D&D is a heavily combat-focused system in terms of its actual, features. Yes, there's parts of, role-playing that you can do, but it's kind of on you as the person playing the character to bring the roleplay elements in. If you wanted, it basically could be a hack and slash. So what we've tried to do is balance it a little bit more, so people can have more rules that affect their role-playing scenarios, that allow them to experience the kind of success and failures that people love in D&D, but without going too far into roleplay to be things like Call of Cthulhu, which then misses out on a lot of the combat aspects as well. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers that. Like I said, we do have 20 phobias in the game as well, varying from something that I personally suffer from, which is arachnophobia. Fuck spiders, I hate them. To fear of water, like drowning. Fear of touch, physical contact. Fear of sleep. Right? There's a lot of stuff on here which people can develop, which could add really fun both role-playing and PvE scenarios to it. We then of course have the magic system. So this again is something I'm currently working on. Although the actual schools of magic and classes have been figured out in terms of the spell list, that is something I'm yet to complete, but I am hoping to complete it this year. So within the types of manifestation or magic of our world, we have 3 specific types of magic. We have the schools of dreaming, which are dreamweavers. They're essentially the more controlled, wizards, as it were, if you were thinking of a relation. So they study, they learn from their own stuff, and there's 3 schools within that fundamentally exist within that class. We then have trades of power, who are essentially they're witches, basically, who've made deals with entities that exist within the Greater Dream for power, but also for a price. And then we have druids of Colabria, who use crystal manifestations in order to tap into a primordial dream in order to cast magic. Okay, now we have the playable races page. Again, all of this is currently live on the website if you did want to check it out. And this is everything we've done towards the Calabrian system this year. Pretty much all in a year. I'm exhausted. Anyway, so this stuff is
Done so much.
All of the races are now currently on here. Not all of them are filled out yet, but a lot of them are. An example of how this will be laid out. This is a completed one pretty much. So we have primary traits. These are all done for the Calabrian system. We have sub-races then as well, which we will get art for soon. So there's quite a lot of stuff on here. Tepuwigs have got their traits figured out as well. There's a hell of a lot going on, basically, with all of those. All of those I hope to have complete sooner rather than later. And we also have optional half race rules. So if you did want to play a half race, absolutely up to you. We have a way of you doing it that involves you thinking about it rather than me having to write out every single possible half race, because, well, we have for 11 races. I'm not making however many sub races of half whatever there might be. So you can actually be whatever half race you want. You can be, the example I gave is actually of a half Tepewig, half Jackarak, which would be crazy because of the different sizes of them. But it explains how you would play that if your GM agrees to you doing it. A lot of it does include having to work with your GM, but I think that kind of goes without saying. So next up we have the class system. So we have 8 primary classes that I'm currently working on, which is nearly complete. Druid is also nearly complete. We're kind of getting there. And then we also have the specializations, which will be coming soon. So these are crafting specializations you take separately to your primary class if your GM allows it in your system. They are crafting specializations that let you, say, create different foods that help. That's the gastromancer. The puppet master creates figures that can come to life briefly and exist and do things that help. The runesmith makes metal armor, weapons, etc. And the loom sage makes fabric clothing that has different magical effects. But in terms of primary classes, we have the Witch, Outlaw, Martialist, Outlander, Druid, Entertainer, Dreamweaver, and Zealot. Starting with the Witch, which as I said is nearly complete. All of the pages are going to be laid out in this way. All of them have the rough blank version of this. But like I said, not all of them are filled out yet, so don't expect that if you go there too soon. But this is the stuff I've done so far. All of them have a different table that explains what you get at each level up to level 10, which is the way that our system works, and how that affects your maximum mana and maximum stamina for your class. All of them have a primary starting stat and a primary starting feature, and then they devolve into 4 subclasses. This is I need to take a breath. But it also explains how your class in the Colabria system is essentially like your background. It affects how your character's backstory has affected where they are now, how they are when they enter session 0 of your game, but it does not mean they have to stick to it. When you are leveling up, you are welcome to put your points into any stat you want. You are not confined to what your character started as, but you will need some kind of story reason for devolving from that point. But that is all made into the system so that it is incredibly flexible, and so people can actually work on stuff as they will. It's not as rigid and regimented as some other TTRPGs. Because that was kind of a big complaint we got, actually, from a lot of people about what they don't like about other TTRPGs, so we wanted to make Sneak a little bit more fluid. So then we have these subclasses, which are listed below. Each one of these have a secondary starting stat, a starting trait, and some information on what the world treats them like, and some information about extra things that affect their subclass. For example, witches all have some kind of mark that shows them to be a witch if someone was indeed hunting them. They also then have different level up things that they get at every single level, which you can click on here. So every other level, you will gain something specific to your subclass, and those are explained here. This is done for the witches. For most things, I am still working on some of the traits though. Like I said, everything is pretty much laid out this way. The druids are also nearly complete, which I've been working on a hell of a lot, but all of them are essentially laid out this way. Okay?
I feel like the witches are your baby, basically.
The witches are my baby, and I will fight anyone who hates it. No, I'm joking. All of this is yet to be optimized, obviously. We will go through a long period of playtesting once things are more complete. We will be running one-shots on the Twitch and YouTube. We will also be doing some longer format videos discussing the ins and outs, if what's worked, what hasn't, and then kind of going back and re-editing what we need to re-edit. But we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. The point is, we've done a lot. Okay, the Calabrian system has seriously come a long way. It is almost completely playable and functional. The only other thing that I am currently working on that might take a little bit longer is essentially putting together a list of all of the creatures, all of the monsters, all of the stats. That is something I'm also working on in the background, but might take a little bit longer. So please do just hold on for that one. It is coming. I'm aiming to have at least most of the creatures and monsters of the Scarus Peaks region completely statted out by the end of this year.
Yep.
So that region is entirely playable. But we'll talk about that in a bit.
On that. Yeah, we'll talk about our goals for the next...
Yes. But this is everything we've done. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's kind of crazy. We have a lot of stuff.
So,
We're working on it.
yeah.
Not all of it's complete. Like, a lot of these are like work in progress, but quite a lot of them also are actually like pretty much done.
Absolutely. And
So-
to finalize that point about the system, we've also, as we've progressed each of the zones, we have began introductions to environmental encounters as well, which are places, which are areas of the map that have specific environmental elements to them that influence the player and have their own stats and system requirements that apply to the experience of the player.
Yeah, so we've made encounter tables, basically, if anyone's ever played D&D. We made encounter tables that a GM can roll on or follow the list down of things that happen to their players as they move through certain regions, or things they're likely to encounter or struggle with, etc. As we go.
And on this particular case, we probably won't be expanding on these all too much, because the encounters are meant to be customizable for the GM. So in our case, we'll have a few encounter tables set for certain areas, but there's nothing stopping a GM to make their own version of an encounter table based on the outlines that we've made.
We're basically just going to make one per area, and then it's up to it's kind of like an example for the GM to use. They don't have to use it if they don't want to. It's just kind of there to help give them an idea of what the area's like and what they might be able to throw at their players from a customizable standpoint as well.
Yes. Following up from the system itself, talking about how many plants and creatures we've actually made.
Yes, too many.
So interestingly enough, we have figured out this is something that we've already known, and that is when we did the elven areas, they're quite barren. They're very barren in terms of like plant life and animals. So we were like, let's do some, creatures and plants. So we did dedicated streams for making these. I did not realize just how long a stream of that can be, let alone multiple streams.
Because, I mean, here's the thing as well. In each of those streams, we did bullet points. Okay.
Yes.
We did bullet point creatures and bullet point plants. And then when you realize how much time it takes to turn those into full stat blocks, full information blocks, things that are consistent, things that actually add to the world in terms of herbalism or potion making or whatever, if it's plants or animals or everything, how it affects where different civilizations get their resources, like leather or cotton or wool, or all of these different things. So I did not that I'm exasperated or anything when we got to this point of looking at what we've done. Yeah, it's probably 600 hours is not an exaggeration. It probably will take about 600 hours collectively of work to get these plants and creatures that we already currently have, which is not all of the ones that are going to be in the world, to a point where they are fully statted and included.
Yeah. That's just transferring information, not even making it.
Well, it's transferring and expanding, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be adding these over time. There's no promise that it'll be done within this year.
It's an ongoing thing.
It's an ongoing thing, and again, we've realized this going into the Elven area, which also isn't complete. Which is probably the most expanded on, is the Dusk Moor.
Yeah, the irony.
Area.
It's the most expanded on, still not complete. Well, I think the plants of the Scar's Peaks are more expanded on, but the animals of the Dusk Moor and the Dawn Vale are more expanded on. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that we've worked on and we are continuing to work on, and people are welcome to give us suggestions. Actually, you know what? Please give us suggestions.
We'll probably end up doing more streams on plants and animals in this coming year, so...
Absolutely. And please join the Discord as well if you're interested and want to make your own contributions. We've had a few people actually recently and over the past year join, who've been tremendously helpful with especially like we've had a member, Tad, who's helped with the fluctuations area of the Scar's Peaks, that actually gave a very nice environmental element to the plants and animals of the world.
Yeah.
Of the Scar's Peaks. So someone like that comes in, helps.
It does so much.
It helps so much. Even just contributing by like suggesting.
Yeah, this is a collaborative project. We want everyone to just, if you have an idea, throw it, it will stick. Like, almost
There's
definitely.
no expectation.
You know,
No expectation.
we might change it very slightly to fit with the concepts that are already pre-established, but in general, we'll talk to you about it. We'll work on it together. We want this to be an encouraging creative space. So please, if you have any ideas, don't be afraid to give us a shout.
Yes, absolutely. So in that respect, we've also started on newsletters quite recently. And they are consistent-ish.
We got an
For the
ad,
most
hold on.
part. Okay. It's okay, we'll wait for the ad.
I'm just giving Cam a gifted sub from me, though, because I'm nice. And also, Cam has done some voice acting and stuff for the project, which we absolutely love, so he's going to get a free skip the ads situation. There we go.
Very kind.
Yeah.
Very kind.
It's my first gifted sub. Yeah, normally it's Piggy who does that, but that's fine. We got about 30 seconds left, I think. I mean, anytime. It's going back to me, kind of, at least in part, so it just means you don't have to deal with the ads. We appreciate the work that you've done towards the project as well, Cam, so I just want to show that appreciation a little bit to mean you won't get any ads on, you know, on our project.
Huge.
Crazy, I know.
Nice work,
Insane. Okay, we should be back in 1 second. Okay, we should be back. Alright, cool. I personally am not subscribed to my own channel on Twitch on my personal account, purely because it means I know when ads are happening. It's very useful. But yes, so we've done a lot. We're still working on a lot. The creatures and plants we will get all onto the website at some point, but do just know that it's going to take us time. It doesn't mean we've forgotten about them. It, you know, we are really working on it.
Yes.
It's just gonna, yeah, when I say can't wait to spend 600 hours putting them on the website, said with love, I really mean that. It is probably going to take that long to get everything that we've already done up on the website expanded to fit into the world that we've created. So yeah, just have a little bit of patience.
And to add on to that as well, from a technical standpoint of like world building, it is very fun to make these things, but it's very easy to get carried away. So a fair warning to any people who are developing their own worlds or want to help make our own. Pace yourselves and have fun with it, but be ready that there will be a tedious element of all this, of having to
Organize,
categorize,
yeah.
Categorize, and apply it. But as always, with time, all of that goes. And
the fun part with this project, we're doing it for you.
And yeah, we do it for you. And we also show all of that effort through the newsletters.
And we show you how we do it a lot of the time as well, and what steps we take, and try and guide you guys in the best directions for doing it without losing your minds.
Indeed.
Not to say we haven't lost our minds, but you know, it's a process.
Yeah, easy. I never claimed to have a mind to begin with.
No, I mean, there's a reason that we keep saying we have the same brain cell, yeah.
Hey, Duck.
Hey,
Speaking of
Duck.
Another person who's contributed plenty, and we're still waiting on a creature.
Yeah, we're still
from
waiting
him.
on the duck wizard, the magic duck. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm joking, though, by the way. Take all the time you need. But if you do make it, it will be included in the world. I will keep saying that. I'll keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah, Duck.
We would love to have a duck in the world dedicated to you.
Absolutely.
100%. I'm not joking. I am not joking.
Not joking.
I was not joking. Get me that wizard duck, we'll put it in.
Yes.
Which is a wild statement. But I swear Duck knows what I mean.
It will work. Don't worry.
I'm not going crazy. Duck knows what I mean. I swear. I really am joking. Yeah, there's actually no pressure, don't worry. Like we said, this project still has a few years on it yet, so like...
There is all the pressure.
Please,
Duck, you have
no
to do
pressure.
it. I am pressuring you right now.
Griff, tell you what, here's what I want you to do, Griff. You want someone going around telling, you know, terrible puns and dad jokes? Why don't you make us a character? Make us a character for one of the places in the world. Name it whatever you want. And that will be their personality, and they will exist in this world. We will make a full character profile for them. We will put them into a location for you. We will put a Griff in this world. if you tell us how you want it done. Make the character for us, like tell us a little bit about how you want them to be, and we'll do it. What race you want them to be, etc. It'll go in there.
Absolutely.
Let's add some life to this world. Let's bring it to life.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking on that either.
No. And that's oftentimes how the process is of how we do our streams. We just talk with people in chat and people help and we make it happen. It's that easy. Which
I like to say everyone can make a world. It's that simple.
Yes.
It is a lot of work, and I think this project is a good way of getting everyone to be able to give all their ideas and to, have them seen and added in a way to something that exists, without the pressure of having to do it all alone, because it can be incredibly difficult to do on your own and so easy to give up. And we don't want you guys to give up. Keep being creative. Don't lose that. The world right now needs creative people more than ever. And quite frankly, no one is taught it in school anymore. No one's encouraged to go forward with it. Even if you have a normal job day to day, you can still be creative and silly and join us in that silliness every Friday just to let off some steam, because that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
Also, Goose Mage to fight the Duck Wizard. Get on it, Flux. Get on it.
Yes. Heath. Yeah. Okay. So, continuing on that.
That's pretty much everything we've done this year. We've done. We also have newsletters. That's the thing, which you can see on the website that go through everything we've done. You can look at all the past ones, what we do in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. We add a couple of jokes in them every time. We will be continuing with those this year.
Absolutely.
And whatever the most recent newsletter is will be on the homepage under the latest news tab, okay? So if you do want to see whatever just the most recent thing is that we've changed, you can just check it out there, and it's easier. I have been over the magic system, so we're all good on that one, I think.
Absolutely.
More or less,
yeah.
But yeah.
We spoke about it, and I mentioned it in the Pantheons bit, and what I was referencing was the multiple facets of and subsets of magic include the...
Oh yeah, no, I went over that a minute ago. It'll be all good.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of stuff in the magic system, but we're getting there.
Absolutely.
So, that's everything we've done.
Yeah.
This year.
Success, we did it.
Crazy. I was crazy once. Crazy's not in chat though. Okay, so...
Put me in a room.
That's everything we've done. Now to get on to slightly more, this is going to be a little bit more serious, I'm sorry guys, part of what we want to do short term, so within the next year, and long term by the end of the project.
Yes.
So, these are our goals. Short term. In fact, if you want to take it away with the first point.
Yes, so, short term for the establishment of social media presence. There's something very real that we have to realize, and that is, in order to make progress on this project, we can make all the things that we want. We can make a website, we can do all this, we can make a tabletop game system, all this, but if it's not seen by anyone, it is not realized. And to do that, we need to grow our social media presence. We have to grow a presence online and make it known to people that we are actually doing this. Over the years, we will hold our hands up. We haven't been the most active on social media. Both Saint and myself.
Terrible.
Well, both Saint and myself are not that savvy when it comes to social media. And I myself am more of an analytical person when it comes to that. I like to look at stats, but in order to get stats, we need to make content. So what we want to do over the course of this year is go over things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts by doing readings, by doing presentations, by doing these sort of clips and chats with everyone that is involved, as well as between ourselves, and make videos and put it out there so it's seen. Even the smallest bits will help into the algorithm of the machine of TikTok and YouTube. YouTube long-form videos will be a longer undertaking, but it is something that will also help. But the main focus will be on the short content, because that is currently the meta in terms of
people have no attention span. That's it.
Yeah. the attention span of people is
I
quite
have no attention span.
bad.
So
So what the plan is provide people with short form information dumps on our world, which might be more fun to listen to. And there is a niche for that in the wider social media, so we'll be taking over in that vein. And then in the same way, script writing. So I myself and Saint will be taking a long time to prepare scripts to read, include us as well as voice actors in the future who will be contributing, and we will also contribute to these readings.
Mhm.
And
you're gonna get to hear even
go-
more of our voices. Can't you wait? You can't wait,
Absolutely.
guys. Anyway, you can't. No, you just really want it.
Yeah, we will also be looking at establishing contacts and in that way networking with people, networking with hopefully getting to sponsorships. If we can get some form, this is the important bit. If we can get this place monetized, that
Yeah,
would
just
be,
to establish, right now everything comes out of my pocket. This is a rough estimate, but right now Colabria as a project is costing me nearly £500 a year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. And it is entirely out of my pocket. And some of the donations that we get on Twitch, everything goes back into the project. So it would be really nice to just at least break even. Hopefully get a little bit more so we can put more work into, like, more money into artists and things like that, and really make the world feel a little bit more alive. I want to make it clear any sponsorship stuff we do get, any donations, etc. for the project are going back into the project. I'm going to be really transparent about that. We just want to really make this something that we can do and we can continue doing, because obviously it can be quite expensive and quite difficult to maintain. Right now I'm still managing to do it, but you know, we want to make sure that it can always be kept. So yeah,
if we can at least equalize, it will be a great
honestly,
help.
that's all I want right now. I
And-
just want
yes,
to break even,
Absolutely.
which would be great.
And
Yeah.
in on the topic of sponsorships as well, we will be looking at things that we agree on, as in what aligns with our ideals. There is a lot of slop out there. There's a lot of companies who scam.
None of this better help therapy shit. None of this.
There is absolutely.
There's a
We'll
lot
be
of fucked up companies out there.
we'll be looking at
won't be
our
working with.
research, and we'll research the sponsors that we want, and we'll see if we can get ourselves someone that lines up with us. This doesn't have to be a permanent sponsor. This can be a temporary one-off sponsor, whatever gets us,
Further
monetized.
ahead, but
Yeah.
we will be looking seriously at the ethics of it. We won't be having any sponsors that use AI. That is a blanket immediate no. Basically, I just want to make it clear that we are not gonna be those pricks who just take money and change, because like I said, this is a labor of love for both of us. We do want to break even so that we can continue to do this unhindered, but we do still have quite a high ethical value on that we are not going to be putting aside for anything, to be blunt. I don't care if I have to keep spending out of pocket for the next 10 years until we find a decent ethical group to work with. I'm willing to do that if it means not promoting the wrong group or not changing our stance on things. So yeah. But that was all very serious, so let's try and change it slightly. We're also looking at maybe doing a couple of podcasts, which will be inviting people who are doing their own fantasy stuff and discussing the process of world building, of GMing, of making stories, etc., writers, authors, all those kinds of things. We'll be chatting with people in the community and maybe even elsewhere in the future about those ideas and making it into a podcast.
Yes, that is something that I've been looking into, and I've brought up to Saint before. She's also known about it, obviously. But there is places that can help us publish these, and help us monetize those as well. If there is an audience to be made, it is probably through auditory platforms in terms of these things, because it's very much more open to that.
Yeah,
and
we're
the
also
content
thinking,
will be-
by the way, of not doing it on Spotify. I just want to make a note. Again, ethics. We're going to look into some of them a little bit and do a bit of research and see where would be best for us to put up these formats, because right now
Yes.
I don't really agree with Spotify. I don't know about iTunes. I need to do some more research. I'm personally not an Apple user. So we're going to do a lot of research into that to see what's best, again, ethically and otherwise. In terms of your question, Duck, would you look at allowing sponsors to have a voice or input into the progression and development of the project, whether that's characters, locations, lore, writing, etc.? I think it would very much depend on what they wanted to do. In those instances, I probably would look to talking with other people about what their opinions are on it. If it's just them wanting to be involved and making some kind of fun character that can go into it, I mean, all of the website stuff in terms of character and locations, like shops and stuff like that, it's entirely up to GMs if they want to use that or if they want to create their own formats. Everything we put on there is purely for like inspiration kind of thing, if you're stuck or you just need a quick thing to pull up. So potentially, but it would, like I said, it would very much depend on what kind of content they want to bring to the table, because again, we wouldn't want it to be anything that goes against our direct values. I don't know if that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know.
But ultimately, nothing will go to pass without our say-so.
Yeah, we will be looking at everything really closely and probably even talking to community members as well as to what their thoughts are on it, because you guys are building this world with us and it wouldn't be right for us alone to have a voice to that. So we will probably chat to some of you guys as well in the Discord just to see what people's opinions are, and whether they think that it's something that they'd be okay with, because, you know, this isn't just our world. You know, I might have started it, Effect may have been with me for a long time on it, but you guys have all contributed to it. You guys have all added your own, you know, thoughts and ideas, and, you know, in that sense, we do want everyone to be able to have a say. At least the core members who've been here for the longest time, we will probably end up talking to about it.
Indeed. Yeah.
Hope that makes sense. Okay. The other thing we want to do this year, I want to actually finish the Calabrian system, for real this time. I know I said I was going to do it last year, but I'm going to do it this time. I know how much I have to do left now. I'm not under any false illusions of how easy it's going to be. I know it's not going to be easy. I know there's a lot of work still to do, but I do think I have a timeline that I'm going to be able to finish it this year. A lot of stuff is planned out. It will be like an end of the year thing. It will be done like in December probably. So when I'm saying this year, I do mean like it will be progressing. I'm hoping to knock like one of these off every third of a year kind of thing. So just saying, we're gonna get there, but that is a whole year situation thing. All of these are really, this is stuff we want to achieve, you know, throughout the whole year, so that at this point now going into February is about 11 months, okay? And we want to finish making the last 3 regions, Radiant Steppes, which is the last civilized region that we need to complete, the Aurora Desolation, and the Barren Borealis, which are essentially the North and South Pole. We don't have civilizations on them, but we still have a lot of stuff we need to do in terms of the atmosphere there, creatures that do live in those areas, and stuff like that. Like Effect was saying, we do already have some concepts and ideas, we just actually need to really get them nailed down. I think that covers it. Does that cover it?
That right around covers that part. Yeah, and I think we're going into long term now.
I think that's realistic. I think we've set less goals, really, this time, but we've been more realistic about them.
Yes.
So,
I think,
yes.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, right now, like, the stuff that is really easy to do based on our ongoing workflow is making the zones and regions. So, that's probably one of the first things we'll be wrapping up.
Making every region will be the first thing I think we tackle this year, starting next week.
Yeah.
A lot of the system stuff I will be doing in the background, but if you guys want to see more streams where we talk about the actual statistics and numbers behind a lot of system making, I am more than happy to do it with you guys. Just let me know. Let me know if you'll be interested in that kind of content. I know some people liked it before, some people didn't. We could do that as like a bi-weekly thing. Just let us know. We'll probably talk about it a bit on Discord. Okay, idea to note for Barren Borealis. Have polar bear inspired animals maybe called Polaris. Effect? Can you write that down?
Yeah.
we shall note that down for when we get to that one. Like I said, we're going to work on these probably in this order, so Baron Borealis may be the last one we get to, but yeah, we will be working through these over the next kind of month or so.
I'm giving
you
him
are
a
not just a
duck.
pretty face.
I'm giving him a duck beak just because that.
Giving the polar bear a duck beak, please don't. We have enough strange creatures in this world. But yeah, now on to long-term goals. So this is literally to the end of the project, whenever that may be. Truly, it's probably never going to fully end, but that's kind of the aim. But in terms of to the end of at least the completed part, that will give you guys a full and accessible world to explore, this is what we want to get done. So a big one, like I said, is making tables for all of the creatures in the world, making potions and stats for the plants of the world. Then we get to some of the more money ones. You know, we want to pay off the investments that I've already put into the project, which is probably in 4 figures, which I'm trying not to think about right now, but it's definitely well into the 4 figures. And then also, you know, getting more creative people involved, like artists, voice actors, etc. We really want to give a platform for people. The expanding into multiple media outlets, so collaboration, video games, animation, short films. We've already kind of thought about a whole video game that could come out of this, which is kind of crazy.
I
More
want to
content.
talk more on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for
talk
it.
more on that, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So this is obviously very, very ambitious. And at least for myself, when I say this, the project has grown so much more than we anticipated. And the content that we've made with people has become so much more friendly towards expansion. And the fact that we can just say that we can make a video game out of this is crazy, let alone hopefully maybe in the future being in that creative vein. Who knows? That'd be awesome. And if there is people out there who know how to animate, who know how to make films, please reach out to us, because that'd be awesome. But yeah, sorry, you can continue.
No, you're all good. So we also want to make more content types, like we were saying. We want to do podcasts. We want to bring back tabletop gaming sessions. We want to start doing campaigns and one-shots based in the world. And we also want to do some like food and drink stuff, because we've developed so many recipes in the world for various groups, various alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, as well as like bibbleberry pie for the Tepiwigs and things like that, that I want to make actual real recipes. Kind of ambitious, but I am a bartender, so drinks wise, I'm pretty good at that. I am cocktail trained, so like mixology trained, so I might do some fun stuff with that in the future as well, which could be kind of fun. And then we get on to, this is really far in the future, we want to actually publish all of the TTRPG system and the world stuff into books. So the game guides, how to play make characters, creature guides, GM's guides, spell tomes, lore books and other expanded works, and then cook and cocktail books as well, are things we want to eventually get to, but that is like seriously far down the line. Like years down the line, if we even get that far. Again, this is all pretty ambitious, but just to make this very clear as well, if we do get to the point of publishing these things into books, it will still all be completely free to check out on the website. I'm not an asshole. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not putting any of it behind paywalls, okay? It will still be accessible. We don't want to take that away from you guys. It's just if you want to have it in a book form, you'll be able to get it in a book form in the future, hopefully. Because I personally love having it in book form. I have all the D&D books. I have Candela Obscura. I have Call of Cthulhu, you know, I have a lot of stuff. So.
Absolutely. I would love to see at least a version of like community-made stories in a book, you know, with which credit that are given credit, that are credited and referenced and in a good book format, just
like a collection of shorts and stuff.
Yeah, like just have a bunch of those shorts in one book would be lovely. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, posture check, Flux. How do you know I'm frickin' slouching?
Thank you, Flux. But yeah, so that's then completing the world story, as we mentioned earlier. It is an ongoing project. It is an ongoing storyline, and truly, the closest thing to a complete story would be a canon type of flow of
campaign
storylines.
or something, or
Yes.
has a beginning and an end.
Exactly. But ultimately, this world may never finish. So, who knows?
Yeah, Flux, move to Canada with me and you can be drinking all them cocktails for me. Taste test them.
That would be awesome.
That's my rule, bud. Now you just gotta do it. I dare you. But no, and I will say as well, in terms of completing the world story, one thing that we did design within the lore of the Greater Dream, Chaos's dream is all of the versions of reality that exist. That existed and have collapsed or have failed or have finished, as it were. So everyone else who makes a world or makes a campaign or a story in Colabria can all coexist. There is no need for any of these worlds to not exist. Just because we make one story in it doesn't mean yours can't too. One of them, you know, if you've made a story, then it's our world that's in Chaos's dream. If, you know, we've made the story, it's your world in Chaos's dream, but it still coexists, you know? We're not putting any finalized, finished details. There isn't going to be anything that's going to stop you from telling the story you want to tell in the world we've developed. And it's all canon. That's the fun part. It's all canon, it just exists in a different dimension.
Yes.
So we might finish our world story, but that doesn't mean you have to finish yours.
Absolutely. Okay.
And I think that covers it. Oh my god.
That covers it. We did it.
Oh, we've done it.
An hour and a half of non-stop talking. Good job, team.
I feel like I need to go lie down now, fuck. Worlds coexisting is cool. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Look, if you want to turn it into a sci-fi thing, we can do it. I mean, the other thing that we thought about with Colabria as a project, and this is really far off in the far, 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 far future, is the Colabria Project was always supposed to be about designing different universes together. So if we were ever to complete, quote-unquote, this world, that doesn't mean that we're done. We could then make a sci-fi. We could make a whatever, you know? We can expand into other stuff and talk about creating in different kinds of time frames of systems. So we could do one sci-fi, we could do one Victorian, we could do one whatever time period we want to, in whatever worlds we want to, and that's okay. But that's way
currently, currently the world we are developing is on Sesame, a living world, a primordial. But who's to say that once the planet is complete, we can just jump to a different planet?
Yeah, we can go 100 light years away in a galaxy far, far away, as you said. Yeah, that's why it's not Let's Build World, it's Let's Build Worlds. Exactly. The good thing about the system we've made and the design we've done, it gives space for us to create new worlds, new places, new atmosphere, new timelines, and it doesn't change or constrict the design that we've already done. And it doesn't mean that one's false or one's true. It's literally just all about coexisting in the same universe.
Indeed.
So yeah. So who knows, maybe we'll make a sci-fi system next.
And absolutely, and all of this to say also, this isn't any different to any other fictions, right? These things, all good worlds, all made creations have a way to expand and have a fandom to it. And this is just our way to say that any creations made within are fully within right to be part of this project. And we'll even acknowledge it as developers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you so desire.
To be really clear as well, it is put on at the bottom of every single page on the website. This is a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 and international license. And what that means is essentially this project, you can use any elements of it that you want. You can run campaigns in this world. You can use the system. You can use the stories. You can use anything you want, as long as you just give a comment, give notice that it is originally from this. But you are freely able to use it, monetize it in any way that you want, as long as you give credit. That's it. That's how a Creative Commons Attribution license works. It's the one that we're using, it's the one we're rolling with, so it is copyrighted, but in a way that allows you to run with it creatively and still be able to monetize your own stuff on it. We're not going to do what D&D did, or tried to do, Wizard of the Coast tried to do, before they got, like, threatened essentially by everyone wanting to stop using their stuff. We're not going to monetize anyone else's work. You are free to use it as you want. If you want any more details on a Creative Commons Attribution License 4.0, you can actually click on the link here and it explains to you exactly how it works in case you have any questions or concerns. Or you are totally welcome to actually discuss it with us as well. If you have any worries, if you want to make something and put it out there for commercial use, just let us know. We'll talk you through how it works and how the license works, and you don't need to pay anything, you don't need to do anything, you can monetize it freely. I just want to make that really clear as well. Just so we're clear. And yes, Jack, you did hear it is free. You just got to give credit, whether it be you putting a video out, it just has to have credit in the YouTube thing, or mention it at some point in the video, or whatever. There needs to be some form of credit that links back to the original source, but that's it. That's all you have to do. We won't take any proceeds or money from that. It will be entirely yours.
Absolutely. I think that wraps it up, really.
I think that does wrap it up.
Perfectly on the dot. On the hour.
Yeah. It's been exactly an hour and a half. It's been a slightly short stream, but that's because all we wanted to do this year was the end of year wrap up for 2025 and what we want to achieve in 2026. Sorry we are so far into the month. It's just, again, with traveling and all kinds of other stuff. We really needed to touch base last week. We didn't have time to do it now. I do have a one-shot that doesn't have a world to live in. There you go. If you want to do it in our world, you're welcome to. You can use the content as much as you want. Just give credit. That's it. That's all you have to do. Nice and easy.
There is something to be said about the fact that it took us an hour and a half to talk about everything. That's awesome, I think.
We did so much last year. We've really ramped it up, and the plan is this year to really be consistent with it and ramp it up even more. We are not slowing down on this project. We want to keep things moving. If anything, we really want to put more time and dedication into it because it is a labor of love for us, like we've said. We love spending time with you guys, with working through the project, and just really enjoying the space that it puts us in the creative mindsets. We like being creative, and doing it with others is always easier than doing it alone.
Yes.
And with that said, thank you so much, guys, for joining our first stream of the year. We hope you join us for many more in the year to come, and even after that, because this will still be a multi-year project, if not really the rest of our lives. So, yeah. I think that covers it.
Yep. Thank you guys for being there with us, and we'll see you next week, probably.
Yep, same time next week, 8:30 start. We'll be here. It'll be about 2 hours stream, and we are really going to focus on getting the rest of the region sorted. So that's going to be our focus next week. See you guys later, guys. Bye.
Bye.